So yeah, as far as the trip out of relay time, that's what Lucille is doing. She is at the table with the pretty, pulling it apart, oiling it, putting it back together, sighting through, pulling it apart. That's all she's doing.
Fair
Unless
enough.
somebody calls her to do something else. She is going to learn the ins and outs of this thing.
Alright.
You're no fun, roll. I'm leaving.
After your final mass relay jump, you find yourselves now flying FTL through terminus space. You know that you have left behind any kind of any semblance of safety, any kind of law and order behind you, and you won't even have a mass relay now. So if anything happens, you could end up stranded like hours or even days away from safety. Fortunately, the Saratoga is specially built for long journeys, so you have more than enough fuel. That won't be of any concern. But considering the last few times you've been in terminus space, it's been a rocky journey. There's understandably a little bit of nervousness among the crew.
The last time was just real emotional.
I thought last time
no.
was fun.
I thought last time was pretty therapeutic.
Was
A bit of all of the above.
I here last time?
No.
Probably not. That was when we picked up my uncle here.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
I
the
just
last time
thought of it,
we picked up his uncle. We killed the guy that murdered her dad.
And the majority of the rest of the away team from the Normandy, or ground crew from the Normandy. It sounds like.
And it all happened in a criminally maintained dance club in the middle of space.
Where the dead bodies were fed to sharks.
We quite literally fought on the dance floor.
The soundtrack was wonderful for that fight.
It really was. I kind of hope that they play the song again.
Bring back fond memories of blowing his head off. I can be for that.
I actually added that to my my Spotify 3.0. How many times have you taken that fucking weapon apart in there and have put it together? Seriously.
Not enough time. Not enough time to have my time be something I'm happy with. I'm still sitting at about 3 minutes from put together to broke to put together again. I am not happy about this. Okay, so it's going to be a few more times. You're going to have to deal with the sound of metal sliding against metal.
At this point, I could put that weapon together and take it apart as fast as you can just by sound alone. Good God.
I kind of want to see that. Come do it.
No, I'm kind of driving. So, no.
Yeah. That put up or shut up, David.
Don't forget to turn the left tension screw 3 times to the right. All right, there you go. There you go.
2.5.
Yeah,
It's
the Saratoga
2.5.
stealth systems are up, right?
If we're in FTL, it can't be.
Can't be. Fair enough.
Stealth can only be engaged when we're not in FTL, because FTL would generate way too much heat for that.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the stealth systems don't make it invisible or anything. It just sinks the heat into the core so that they can't be picked up by.
They can still look out a window and see us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Geth
Who has
don't have
windows?
those. Those are structural weakness.
Yeah. Who has windows? Except for Quarians, I think.
Oh,
No, windows.
Most people don't use windows in space because, like, beyond a certain distance, you just can't see anything.
Also, why don't we have cameras like attached to the outside so I can just like push them on?
We did.
See?
We did.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like in general.
No,
like,
we actually.
as a common thing.
I don't know if we got them fixed, but we did at one point.
Oh, okay.
Then Shadow Cthulhu was like, "Hey."
Yeah, even just a couple kilometers, and like you can't be seen in space.
You almost certainly got the cameras fixed for sure. You did.
Oh, thank God.
I would hope so.
Yeah,
Also,
picked them up on the
I mean,
on the
your ship
window.
has been dry docked multiple times. They wouldn't have just like left it broken.
I love how the Leviathan
Hey, I don't know.
directly compared him to just like he's Satan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, yeah, they're like, okay, we have a creation myth from like 10 trillion years ago or something, and we're pretty sure it's fake, but there's a betrayer in it, so I guess your equivalent would be Satan, but it's probably bullshit. Anyway, we're leaving.
Bye.
And then we talked bad about him.
Yeah, and then they bounced.
I posit that there is nothing terrible about telling someone the truth. They don't have to like it, but it's the truth.
Yeah, I agree. I got you.
Ray is sitting down there on the console, and she's like messing with it, and all of a sudden she does that thing where you kind of just look off into space as you remember something, and she's like, "I forgot to reset the bartender."
Oh my god!
Meanwhile, back at that place. Yeah, hi. Can I get a martini? My love for you will never go unabated. Huh?
Oh dear God.
That's funny.
It's like, I just want a margarita. I'm the king of the world.
Old you shouldn't have played with it. Now we're gonna get some sort of fee or fine. Oh, good job.
You have your duties to the fleet, while I have my duties to the flotilla. Please!
And finally, after a full day of FTL travel, in which the crew get up to various things, but mostly just have a moment to relax between harrowing missions, a little bit of, not away time, but, no pressing danger, except for David. David has to drive, so he doesn't get a break. Fuck David. Everybody else does.
Exactly. Goddamn right.
Everybody else gets a break. No, I'm sure
Yeah.
David would have traded off with Quincy at some point.
Fuck Quincy. This is my shit.
Oh,
we would have had to force him just like we did last time.
I like driving.
and finally it comes into view. The massive space station in basically buried inside of the gases of this giant star, where you can like scarcely make it out unless you're basically on top of it. No way to detect it in any way. The radiation is unreal outside here. No communication of any kind. It's Euphoria, the club that doesn't exist.
Did you say club?
Oh boy. Eon
It is
hasn't
a
seen it
nightclub.
yet. Oh my.
Hey,
Yeah, but
I don't think I've ever been to a club.
okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna lay down one major ground rule that I'm gonna have to ask you not to break, because the only person here who can is Ray. There's a Turian here sometimes, really dark and mysterious. Avoid them. Don't disrespect them, but avoid them. Don't do that.
Don't sign anything and don't accept any drinks that you haven't ordered.
Yeah.
Oh, but
That's
those
a
are
good
the
point.
best.
Even then, be skeptical.
Keep your hands
You're
in your
going to
pockets
die.
and stay with your buddy.
You know, if Mr. Red is here, I actually learned more about Quarian biology. I bet I could give him another lesson.
Oh,
You know, I think he's probably learned quite a bit, Ray. I'm thinking you're probably fine. Now, you could ask him about what he does. You should definitely ask him questions, because I bet
Yeah,
he's
like,
got a
why is
lot
the
of good
Primarch-
information he'd like.
Why would I ask him questions? He's scary.
Yeah, like why the Primarch hates him for some reason. There you go. That's a good question to ask. I'm curious.
That actually is a good question to ask. I'll keep that in mind.
Uh-huh.
So we met the Primarch the other day. Why does he hate you?
So I'm gonna go ahead and put up a bet right now. If Ray does actually go up and talk with him about that, I'm putting a five credits down that it's because he's related to him in some way. I'm going either cousin or sibling.
I'm thinking sibling.
Yep. I'm gonna go 5 credit bet right there.
I'll go in
Related.
with that.
I'll put 5 on ex-boyfriend.
I'm putting 5 on brother.
Oh, come on, Shep. You know you want to be a part of this. What are you putting 5 on? Come on.
I'll put 5 on he fucked the guy's sister.
Whoa.
Or brother.
Oh!
I put 5 on
He's
that.
an ex, and he screwed up somebody in the family. That's my 5.
Yeah, so we got 2 for related in some way, and 2 for this guy fucked somebody in some way. All right. That's a pot.
I think he committed war crimes.
Well,
that doesn't come into play. Of course he committed war crimes.
I mean, who hasn't committed a war crime?
I haven't.
I don't believe you.
Just give me a reason. I've been waiting.
Oh my god, sweetheart. You need to calm yourself, alright?
Seriously.
Look, stick with Kronk and I long enough and it'll happen.
I feel like wiping somebody's memory would probably be a war crime.
If they remembered.
Good God. Oh no, we are corrupting Eon, so...
Aryn, is this what you guys do to your kids over here? Because she's what? 3 in Asari years?
No, this is pretty consistent with Asari children. They're either incredibly violent, very horny, or both.
Oh boy. We got the twofer.
Boy.
Awesome.
My money's on both.
Violently horny.
Listen here, I like...
Honestly, it's a lot like human teenagers.
Hey, whoa.
Lasts a lot longer.
I'm going to admit, when I was a teenager, I didn't want to go throw a Molotov cocktail at somebody after going home with my prom date. Okay?
Imagine being that for 40 years.
I'm dead.
Between Arturo, David, and Kronk, somebody keep an eye on Eon, somebody keep an eye on Ray.
Oh, okay. So, points to Arturo. You get Eon because you have better eyes than me. And watch Ray.
Buddy system.
Yeah. Hey Ray, we're gonna resupply. We're gonna resupply while we're here, Ray.
Need to get some more of the cigars.
No, I got the cigars off the dead man.
Right.
But I helped, but I didn't. You know, Ray got liquor here, so you know.
Sorry, I don't remember. Like, I was here physically, but I wasn't here mentally for that.
Out the orders. Lucille kind of looks at her and is like, "Oh, Captain, my captain, this is your boat."
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So as before, you guys can pull in any time. They just have an open dock. There's no communication.
Yeah.
So there isn't really any way to signal them or say anything to them. But they keep the dock open because if anyone's able to find this place, it typically means they're invited.
Take us in, David, at your convenience.
I wonder who.
I'm already docking right now. Give me a sec. And we're golden.
As you pull in, the docking bay shuts behind you. Primrose is already ready at the exit of the Saratoga, waiting.
All right.
We'll be meeting with Snake. Are you meeting him with us?
Yeah, that's the plan.
You sure you're okay with them seeing your face with us?
I'm going all in on this.
Gamble.
If Snake ends up betraying you, it's not going to make too much difference whether he saw my face or not.
All right.
Fair enough.
If Snake winds up betraying us, there's a chance, hopefully, he won't live long enough to do anything about it.
That's the whole point.
Do everything in our power to make sure of it.
Yeah, well, it's not him I'm more worried about if that happens. It's more that Asari lady he had in his room last time we were there.
Doing everything in our power. Arturo walks over to Ray and goes, hey, give me 2 of those shots you have.
I don't think that's a great idea. No offense, Arturo, but I went over your medical charts, and out of everyone on the crew, you're one of the people I would not want to administer this to.
If it comes down to it, it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
If it comes down to it, I'll be there to administer it. I can maximize your chances of survival. I don't know exactly how these things kill you, so if you die because you take one, I don't know if I'd be able to bring you back, even with my emergency measures.
Here's my thing, right? If we're in the middle of combat and I need to take one of those things, you're not going to know where I am to give it to me.
Ray will kind of like look around at the rest of the group for help.
David, like, okay, yeah, David will. Arturo, she's kind of our chief medical expert when it comes to this stuff, but
Just sign an AMA, Arturo.
you aren't helping.
I don't think we're at a point where those need to come into play yet.
I don't plan on using it anytime soon. It's for emergencies. But if in the case that there is an emergency and there's a possibility I need it, I'd rather have it on me where I can use it than somewhere else in the battlefield.
Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Look, do not use the condom statement, okay, for a killer shot. Do not.
What's a
Arturo,
condom?
if you take it and I don't know where you are, then you are definitely going to die if the negative effects take hold of you. Like, this isn't something we can play around with. These things are highly, highly dangerous. I'm pretty sure just by holding it in my hand for too long, it would kill me. If you were Kronk or maybe David, then I would be a little more lenient. But I checked your medical records. Your resistances just aren't good enough. I'm just afraid for your life.
I understand that, and I appreciate it. But if I was afraid for my life, I wouldn't be in the military.
Well, this is something that can get tabled until after we find out if our snake is truly a snake or, a cute little, danger noodle.
I don't like that you called him cute.
I didn't call him cute. I said he could be a cute little danger noodle.
You literally just said it again.
Takes the rag that she's been using to oil this and throws it at you.
I do agree that Ray has the final word on medicine to be administered in the field. Ray is our field medic.
Nice one, Zach.
Ray looks nervous. She's definitely not comfortable with telling someone no. Like, she's rubbing her hands together and everything and got her head down like she's not looking at Arturo, but she really doesn't think it's a good idea.
Well, Aaron's on your side on that one. You have that say. Once we're docked up and ship is secured, ground team to the airlock. Arturo, make sure your guys know to keep the ship locked down and not let anyone on board that's not us.
Of course.
Quickly, can I cast Detect Biotics before we head out?
Sure.
Thanks.
What is it? 60-foot cone? What are we talking here?
Yeah, I'll put it right now. I just got it loaded in, I think. Oh no, I didn't load it in yet. Oh no, I did.
30-foot radius. Okay.
Now, if I use extend, can you use multiple metacasting points to extend it further, or not? Extend,
No.
Okay.
And
that's what I was.
Also, range on this spell is self.
Right, you can't make it go any further.
Got you. So just within 30 feet, okay.
Yeah. Extend cannot be used on anything that has a radius.
Got you, yeah.
It can be used, like if it's like radius from a point within range, you can extend that range, but not the radius that it creates from there.
Got you. Okay.
Because that would be busted.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, nope, and yeah, I just wanted it out just to have it out.
Primrose disembarks with the party, and you find yourselves in a long metal hallway, very dark, but there's the thumping of bass in the distance.
So it's a metal hallway. Got it.
Aaron's gonna follow the path that they took last time to get towards Snake's office. That'll be across the dance floor and through the back rooms and everything, but she's going to anticipate that she's expected.
As you reach the giant heavy metal doors, a pair of kind of grumpy looking Krogan guards take hold of the doors and open them for your party.
Check.
And as you enter, you find yourselves in Euphoria, immediately drowning in lights and sound. Around you, the sweaty bodies of dancers, different separate fights breaking out on the dance floor and among the tables. There are drug deals going down, some of them between staff and customers. And right away, multiple, we'll affectionately call them, I don't know, female opportunists, come to your group and begin to kind of dance very close to you and ask your names and if you've been here before and if you're looking for a good time.
No, I have to stay with the group.
They're doing this to everybody or just to Eon?
Just kind of like throughout your party, like just kind of hitting on everybody, yeah. One of them, a cute Asari, will go slide up to Eon and be like,
ignored. I like Krogan. Walked away.
Oh, okay.
Damn!
If one comes up to Aryn, she's not gonna like brush past him or anything. Like she'll like take a finger and give them just kind of a gentle like brush under the chin with a smile and then keep walking.
Damn.
Fucking tease.
Okay. Fair enough.
Can you seduce the seducer?
Absolutely.
Can you seduce the unseducible?
A Turian in a Speedo, who's kind of like oiled up a little bit, comes over the Ray.
Hey, bud, hey, bud.
Can I whisper to Ray, do it?
The GIF I posted is pretty much what Aaron's doing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little too much for innocent little Ray. She probably like blushes really hard and hides in the group. Probably hides behind the Krogan.
Yeah, because I was told to watch her. I'd probably like stepped over a little bit, like, hey, not my thing, bud. Go away.
Fair enough. Now, you fend off the advances of the club goers as you make your way through, but it's very crowded, so it's slow going getting through the club. As you're passing the bar, one of the bartenders is like, any of y'all want anything? As he's spinning a my brain is shut off today. Hold on. Fucking metal jar for mixing drinks. This is the dumbest
Mixer?
word I use. Mixer. I literally lost the word mixer.
I've used that all day.
Words are falling out the back of my head.
You even literally said the word mixing.
I know. Look, you've been there. I know everyone's fucking been
I have.
The thing for mixing drinks, a drink mixer? Yeah.
Yeah, spinning.
I mean,
What's the thing I need?
My
like
biggest
cigarettes.
My biggest fault.
He asked you if you want anybody want any drinks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You can get one later. We're on business.
Okay, no.
Oh, Lucille's giving people bedroom eyes.
No, she'll do the if somebody does come up, she kind of gives them a bit of a side eye, a down and an up, and then a little bit of an eyebrow raise, and just keeps walking.
Damn.
It's a pleasant look, though. It's not as normal snark as she would be, and that's probably because I've had good drugs. So,
Arturo's face
Medicine.
is knowing he ignores everybody if they walk up to him.
Eventually, you finally reach the VIP doors in the back, which are firmly locked. And a pair of syndicate guards standing in front of the doors. One of them puts their hand out. VIP only.
Yeah.
Aryn will say, "Snake's expecting us."
He'll put his finger in his ear and go, "Spectre's here." Uh-huh. And then he'll turn back to Aryn and says, "Snake will see you in about 15 minutes. Why don't you go take a seat at the table?"
Aryn will kind of look around and give a nod, and she'll say, 15 minutes then.
Do we still have our weapons on us, by the way?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
No one's weapons are taken in here.
Yeah, she'll find a table to grab.
All right.
Her weapon is more for show than anything because she doesn't really use it.
As you guys sit at the table, you are joined by a pair of Asari who kind of sit in with the group and start to try to make small talk.
I'm about to dance battle them if they don't quit.
Oh my god.
Eon, please. Eon, please.
Oh my gosh.
You were from...
Eon probably stole some of your red vines.
You were literally trained on Thessia to be a calm, collected, powerful... What is wrong with you?
Suddenly, you hear from a little ways away, like 2 tables away, you hear, "What is this shit you're trying to sell me?" And a Krogan breaks the table in half with another person. What looks like red powder goes all over the floor, and he says, This is shit grade! I wouldn't wipe this crap off my shoe! Give me back my money! And the Krogan takes the dude by the ankles and throws him into the crowd, and the guards get involved, and suddenly there's a firefight, and people are discharging their weapons.
This is where I belong.
So do you want me to throw up a biotic shield? Or
yeah. So Aryn is going to remain calm and kind of like scoot over, kind of like wrap an arm around Eon's waist and just kind of like hold her close as she leans over and says, "Watch yourself in here. Could we get a bubble, please?"
Absolutely. Eon's gonna throw up a biotic shield.
All right.
Around the group.
People can still walk through it and everything. There's just no risk of us getting shot by a random bullet.
Yeah, after a little bit, the fight dies down with several casualties. The guards, not really caring who was in the right or who was in the wrong, just gather up the bodies of the losing side and toss them into the fish tank, where they are torn apart by alien sharks.
The best.
You see why I wanted you to stay close to us.
All I'm saying is we should visit more often.
This sounds like fun. Why didn't you take me here sooner?
It's a little out of the way.
So a Turian in a black jacket sidles up to your table and says, "You guys in the market for a good time? You looking for something a little stronger than drinks?"
I haven't even had a drink yet.
What do you have?
Big Krogan fellow. I got premium red dust here. Knock your socks off. Synapse for the Asari, if you ever try it. It's a hell of a hit. And I got some cocaine for the humans.
We're working.
LSD as well.
How much for 1 dose of the synapse?
Ray, we're working. We'll deal with it later.
I know, I am working. How much for 1 dose?
10,000 credits.
Just barely to 10,000 for 1 dose?
That's right, man. This shit's premium. You know what Synapse does to you?
You just need 1 dose.
Yeah, you take 1 hit of Synapse, you're gonna be spinning for days.
I'll get it for you, Ray.
2,000 credits, or are you gonna buy the whole thing?
Well, which one? Yeah, I was gonna buy it. I wanted Synapse anyways. I am curious. Can you remake it, or?
That's what. Yeah, that's more of what it was for. Ray's gonna study.
I will fund it so that you can make some for later if you want.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
fun if I
Well,
could be your guinea pig.
I'm
I'll do
messaging you
5,000. You do 5,000.
or whispering you in the head.
Okay. All right.
No, but yeah.
I'll pay half and half and get a dose of signups.
Okay. Yeah, how much do you need then?
All right.
10,000.
All right. I'm gonna...
5,000 from you. I spent 5,000, so just 5,000 from you, and we'll be.
Okay. Yep. I'll give it to you. I'm gonna change my sheet now.
Also, I'm not stopping anybody from getting a drink that wants one. I'm just trusting everybody to keep an eye on their own drinks.
Ray will put the synapse in her ever-growing, like, part of her bag that's just full of, like, illegal and dangerous drugs.
You gotta drug. You gotta
drug. They get pulled over and arrested for, assisting with possession. Oh.
Any of the rest of you want anything? LSD, cocaine? Oh, you got a Quarian? I got some premium vapor tubes. Hook your air intake up to it. You'll fly.
Listen, if you don't have red vines, I don't want to hear it.
Red? No, I ain't got red vines. Sorry.
No, I ain't got that shit.
But I feel like we're done here.
Damn.
That weak plastic shit.
Over at Aryn and just shakes her head, and her face looks just so apologetic.
Once the business is concluded, Aryn will kind of give the Turian dismissive nod of her head.
Better fucking leave.
All right. Yeah, he'll eventually back off after selling you the synapse. Give me one moment on the handout for that, boy. I got it for you.
I'm gonna laugh my ass off if it says low grade pre-cut synapse.
My guess, Aryn, once he's clear and the table's like our conversation's lost back to the noise of the room, Aaron's gonna say, I'm assuming he's working for Warhorse.
Really now?
Probably.
I mean, makes sense. The one who runs all the drug trade.
Is Warhorse, by the way, they wouldn't be here, right?
Don't know. Depends on if he's a guest of Snake.
Do you have a picture of him?
Yep. It's in Syndicate Bosses. Characters.
I have sense presence now. I can tell you exactly if he's here. Within 1,000 feet at least.
Worth a shot?
Can you do that without sensing someone's presence to begin with? Like, do you have to?
You have to. Let me read it, or I'll post it.
Yeah, if you've only heard of them, like you don't know what their presence feels like, I don't think it would work.
Familiar to you?
Yeah, like we know of him, but
okay,
we don't.
that's fair.
But it's not the same as familiar.
If I at least.
You kind of have to know what his presence feels like.
Yeah. I at least have to see him in person at least. Also, my detect biotics probably it's probably been 10 minutes at this point, huh?
I'm gonna be honest. The dance floor looks very inviting.
Say less.
Go ahead, just
Time
take a
at
buddy
that
with
fire
you.
fight, I don't want to get off.
I will grab your arm and run out.
I don't want to get. Ah, shit!
Say less.
I'm glad I didn't say anything about it, otherwise I think she would have drugged me out there too.
Oh, look at the kids going out to dance.
Aryn will flag down like a server and order a drink, but something that's not too strong.
Get something bottled.
Something light. One of these waitresses with the holographic feathers. As we wait.
I'm partying hardy over here in the dance floor. I do not have Mass Effect Shepard dance moves.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just doing my own thing, man.
Ray will ask David to buy her another bottle of the quadruple filtered brandy.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Of
How
which
much
she
was
had
that?
like half of a glass of, and the
How much was
Turian
that? Do
drink
you
rest of.
remember?
I don't remember. It wasn't very much because I started the campaign with only like 600 credits, so it could
That's
only
a,
have
you know
been-
what? I was gonna get another bottle of Sarah's Ice Brandy, so I'll just probably I'll throw 500 credits down. Keep the rest of the tip there. There you go.
Eon's got some money. She's here to spend it.
Hey, Eon, wait until after we're done with business before you go crazy. This bottle is for the ship.
Please try to keep your mind clear in case shit hits the fan.
No.
Just no.
Okay, so edit my credit limit. Do-do-do-do-do. I don't like that D4.
No, it's Lucille is going to join you on the dance floor. I had to roll to find out.
I thought that was like rolling for how many beers you order.
Okay,
No.
but do you have Shepard dance moves?
I may be a shepherd, but I do not have shepherd dance moves.
Yeah. Has Aaron's drink come to her by now?
Indeed.
Oh, yeah, she'd be like sipping at it as she watches Shepard go towards the dance floor. Like, let's see if it runs in the family.
No, she's definitely a bit more coordinated than her mom would be.
Well, prove it. Roll performance.
Oh shit!
Hell yeah, I'm here for it.
Fuck it, I'll roll performance too. Why not? I feel like I should get advantage though because I'm a martial artist, so therefore I'm already used to fluid movement.
Just go throwing out some martial arts moves.
You're gonna like knock out a couple people on the dance floor. In
Hey,
the
bro!
process.
Hey, bro!
Let's watch the dice hate me. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, there it is.
Hey, I'm above a 10. That's good for me.
Woo! Yeah, Eon. Asari represent.
Hey.
It still really is her
charismatic. I don't want to hear it.
Freaking +9 to that.
Right?
Here's Synapse.
Man, I'm rolling raw.
Technically, if I wanted to, instead of dancing, I could do some acrobatic moves because a lot of those are artful.
Dear God, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma become 30.
Wow.
Yeah, but what's the
We should all take that before the next time we do one of those big group mind melds.
I was about to say the same thing.
I'm gonna read this though.
Then we'd all have 90 hit points and then die anyway when we woke up.
I think
4 levels of exhaustion.
Oh,
you are
man.
out of pocket.
Wisdom save. Okay.
You cannot sleep or rest for 1d4 days. That's how long it lasts.
It is actually possible for this thing to kill you from exhaustion when it ends.
Oh, absolutely
There's
possible.
a level of
yeah.
exhaustion each night. Oh dear God! So you're gonna
Yeah, 'cause you can't
like
sleep.
you're gonna get 1d4 levels of exhaustion plus whatever you roll on that.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
because you can't. While this thing is surging through your brain, you're wired. You cannot sleep.
Woo boy.
Is
So
it
this
painful?
is not one of those if your constitution or wisdom is high enough you can survive it guaranteed once. Like this could kill you anytime you take it.
I do have a +7 to my wisdom save, so if I roll at least a 14.
Zane, clarification here. On a 1, the spell fails and the target becomes sickened, or the caster becomes sickened.
The caster is the target of the.
The
synapse.
caster is the target. I'm sorry. Gotcha. Got it. Okay, cool.
Damn.
So does the 30 wisdom affect the wisdom saving throw you then have to make to fight
It
off
says
the
after the effects end, so no.
Okay.
And also,
you wouldn't have it anymore.
What are the mechanics on forcefully administering this stuff to somebody?
You can attempt to. It would be opposed. So it is you administer it as basically like you've got this tube and there's like a needle on the end, and you slap it onto like your thigh or something, and and it goes in.
Like
actually, I think it has to specifically be the back of the spine. Yes. It does need to be the spinal cord. Okay. So you would need to grapple someone, and then if you have them grappled, you can make an opposed check to try to administer this to them. You could definitely do it.
Okay.
That, or Aryn could just hold a person them.
I'm just seeing what risk I'd be of somebody just sneaking this into me.
They would need to grapple or immobilize you, and then they would have to make another opposed check.
Right. As long as there's a process, I'm not going to be on super high guard then.
I have 2 questions.
What's up?
When it comes to synapse. Number 1, Biotic Cleanse at 3rd level can reduce a target's exhaustion level by 1. That's more of a statement than a question, but my real question is this inherently harmful, synapse or Z-shot? Is it something that somebody could suggest that somebody else take, and they'll just take it?
So, in terms of the spell suggestion, I do think I would consider this harmful. You would need to basically you'd need something stronger, like Dominate, basically, to do it.
Unless they're already, like, using this material, this kind of drug regularly, in which case, totally reasonable to suggest them do it.
Right.
Yeah. This is why it was 10,000 credits. Like, the people who do this as a drug, the guy wasn't kidding. You take it, and for 1d4 days, you're off. Like, this is like a huge hit of LSD or something where you're just gone.
It is very easy for this to kill you if you don't have enough level. If you don't have enough wisdom.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, basically you can OD on it very easily. Yeah.
Again, I would be fine with it.
If you roll a 4 on like for 4 days, and then even if you roll as high as a 15 for that 2 levels of exhaustion, that's 6. You're dead.
So the trick is, as pointed out, there are solutions to exhaustion. So someone could, like, on each of those days, be removing your exhaustion with a spell.
It would take several days of, like, dedicated treatment.
Yeah, I would need to, like, not have any spells whatsoever if I use that.
Just reminder, reminder, if you're giving this to yourself, you're not getting any longer rests, so you're not recouping any points.
You better be able to be laid out for a couple days afterwards.
Can I put you in a medical coma?
I think that's just suspends any effects. They resume as soon as the coma's over.
Remember, the system we're using right now, though, this also gives you an upsurge of additional biotic points.
Oh.
Because it changes your modifier, and your biotic points are your modifier plus whatever's on the table.
It'd give you at least 5 more, yeah.
It also affects your spell save DCs and spell attack modifiers, and
this spell would also be useful for engineers and shit too.
Yeah, technically, it basically it's not purely a biotic thing. It's a brain stimulant, so it sends your brain into like super overdrive, and then you burn out and maybe die.
Yeah, tech casters could use this too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't do the biotic point thing.
But you'd have intelligence, so you'd get tech points instead.
Yeah, but my point is, the second part of what it does wouldn't do anything for them.
Right.
Yeah, it wouldn't destroy or enhance your spells. It would just enhance your intelligence.
Yeah, you would just be very smart.
Hey, I can imagine all the brainiacs using this shit when they're trying to do research. I've hit a rut. I got writer's block. Hit some fucking sign out.
So this is what it's like to be Ray. I'm so smart.
You're like, I'm smart and I'm wise enough to realize I shouldn't have taken this shit.
No, this is actually something great to take before we go into the meld. That way, I can be tanky again.
We can all be tanky.
90 hit points going in.
Yeah.
Have Faye just sitting on the outside, just ready to administer health, emergency medical for anybody.
So yeah, we gonna need it.
I can't talk to that square.
I'm having that issue too.
I keep forgetting.
It's going
words,
around. Sorry, whoever I interrupted.
Oh, it wasn't much of an interruption. I said I've been forgetting words today, just like there.
Yeah.
While everyone else is off dancing, Kronk is posted up next to Aryn in standard bodyguard posture.
Ah, yes.
It's okay, we'll trade rolls on the way out. Kronk can have a drink and Aryn will keep watch.
Arturo was just sitting back in the booth, just watching.
Yeah, Ray's looking at the drug, trying to determine all of these things about it.
I'll dance my way back up to the table and place a bottle down in front of Ray. And then I'll finger guns and I'm going right back to the dance floor.
Ray blushes because Aaron's right there and shoves it into her bag.
At this point, Ian has a few drinks. Has had a few drinks.
Yeah, no!
You left her alone on the dance floor.
You weren't my responsibility. Technically, you were Arturo's.
But Eon, you have the resistance of a wet napkin.
Absolutely.
And you were right.
Don't take anybody's drinks.
I gotta go back where Shepard's at. I can't leave her
Right,
alone.
was your responsibility, and you bought her alcohol.
All right. Well, after a delay, as you're all waiting for about 15 minutes, someone comes over to fetch you. Banshee, Snake's underboss,
Oh,
I remember her.
comes up to
yeah,
your
I do
table.
too.
Snake will see you now.
Banshee, good to see you again.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Aryn will just like stand up and kind of just smirk confidently at her, and then say, "After you."
Yeah, right this way.
Are you going alone, or the rest of us following?
No, everybody's coming. She'll.
Okay.
If anybody doesn't follow, she'll like actually look over her shoulder at you and give everybody the come here, come on head nod.
Oh, okay. I also accepted a ping on my Omni tool, but that'll work too.
Yeah.
But, oh,
Yep.
dancing's over.
You pass through the door into the VIP section, which is a bit quieter and a bit darker. This way.
Aryn passes the message down the line. This way.
Ian at the end of the line turns a nobody and says, "This way."
Piss gray. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Oh,
Bad
Ray,
telephone.
it's your friend. It's your friend.
Oh, it is.
Ray will actually wave at him if he sees her.
Yeah, he's actually making his way over.
Oh, okay. Ray stops moving. She doesn't want to die.
And he passes Ray
Oh, thank God.
on his way up to join the group, and as he comes over, he looks at Aryn and says, "Finally, took you long enough."
He's part of the group now.
He's coming to the meeting.
Okay.
I
Congrats
don't
on the
think we
team.
can recruit him.
Yeah.
I really don't think we can
Dang it.
recruit him, and
No,
I'm going to
let's
say that's
recruit
a
him.
bad idea.
I don't care. If
We
he's
got
part
it.
of the meeting, that means we don't have to kill him. And I think he's really cool, so I don't
Ray.
want to kill him.
Give him your
I don't wanna
Quarian
kill him,
charm.
man.
Convince him to come over.
Tell him if he comes with us, there'll be plenty of Quarians to dissect along the way.
I'm gonna take back my spot next
Give
to
him-
Banshee.
give him to
close
the Cremata.
Banshee, just because
Turned off the grid so people can just kind of go where they're going to go.
To be fair, Ray's good enough at medicine at this point that she could probably teach him how to very effectively kill a lot more than just Quarians now.
Arturo's going to sit where he always sits at the table, bottom left corner.
Primrose will actually take one of the seats at the desk.
Yeah. Aryn will sit right with her.
As they do, Snake kind of smirks at Primrose and says, "Really? All right."
I trust you've been keeping up with the ship's recordings?
I have.
So then you know why we're here.
I am.
Something's coming your way. And it's
well aware of that.
And it's got allies waiting over here.
Rabbit has most of the syndicate in the palm of her hand. There aren't many left who don't trust her completely. They're all waiting dutifully to meet with this Amos. Though that's not the name she's been using for it.
What's she calling it?
Savior.
I'm gonna put up. I'm just gonna put up sense deception, just like, because they did it last time. It's my turn this time.
Yeah. I mean, Banshee's gonna follow suit.
Yeah.
Banshee puts it up as well, just so. Yeah. No one gonna be lying in this meeting, not without making a save. Snake says, "Rad here asked to join our little meeting. He wants to be looped in on things. I have hesitated to tell him everything, out of respect for our agreement. I'll let him make his case."
Aryn will kind of swivel her chair a little bit to look over at Ratnan.
When you swivel your chair, he's standing directly behind you,
Yeah.
like hunched over a little bit.
It's like nobody else saw him even get...
He didn't move at all. Yeah, he's just there.
I like to think that, like he like moved up there and everybody else saw it, but nobody said anything.
Oh, Arturo was definitely watching this happen and went, "This is gonna be funny."
All I was thinking of was, this is what you get for sending me all those fucking pictures of deep water monsters while we were at the beach.
Yeah, Aryn does definitely flinch when she notices Rat there and like gives the rest of the group just kind of a look.
Arturo goes back to looking at his guns. He doesn't look like paying attention.
Also, for Ez's sake, here's the full art for Rat and Snake.
Oh, okay. Alright, cool.
So Rat says, "Rabbit had a very interesting meeting with me just the other day. I had expressed some skepticism on the direction the Syndicate was taking. She attempted to get in here." He puts a finger on his forehead. "And she failed. She escaped with her life, but her guards didn't. Suffice to say, whatever is happening, whatever wheel's turning, I've found myself on the other side of it. I don't feel too strongly about all of this. I just know that, personally, I don't much appreciate it when Asari try to poke into my mind." And he says this really close to Aryn's ear. Like right up to you. So I don't like this Rabbit character very much, to be honest with you. She invaded my privacy, can you believe that? How rude. So, he kind of stands back up. "What's all this about?" And Snake says, I have been debating whether to loop him in on the finer details. I figured if this is going to be an alliance between Spectres, we should all have a say. Fortunately, there's 3 of us. He nods at Primrose, so that's a tiebreaker, I suppose.
Of course he knew.
Primrose just kind of like frowns at him, and Snake is like, "It's my job to know."
I'm happy to count any syndicate bosses as allies against this threat. We do know that Rabbit does get into people's heads, though. We've had to deal with one among my own crew, where she can make anyone a sleeper agent and activate them from large distance. Many don't even know that they've been compromised by her, so I can't be sure about anybody without actually going in myself.
Oh, I see, says Rat. You Asari are all very similar. I suppose I have my pick of which one's going to meddle around in my head then. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not going to force it. That's the difference between us. If you don't want me in there, you don't have to. And
I don't care for biotics. I don't like the way they make me feel. Like a bad hangover. Like someone's fingers are in my gray matter. It makes me tense and on edge.
And you're quite certain that Rabbit didn't get her hooks in you. She didn't make contact in some way, because she can hide her tracks, even if she succeeded.
Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. But whatever she was trying to do, she got interrupted.
Interrupted by what?
She thought I was paralyzed. I wasn't.
And then Aryn will look over her shoulder to Eon. And say, with what you know about Rabbit, is she able to infect somebody without them being incapacitated?
Hey, then.
So you, I'll say this: you would have never actually seen Salem do this to someone. Like, you would have never witnessed it in person. But from what you know from your training under the matriarch, the kind of shit she's done in the past, where she's like implanted a biotic parasite inside someone's mind and rewritten their memories and set up contingencies, that kind of shit takes time. It's not the sort of thing you can like slap someone's ass as an action and do it. Like it takes like a lot of time and effort to do it.
So she needs more prep time. She needs time to be able to actually do it. So if the person
it's very involved.
Yeah. I mean, Eon would just tell you it's not likely that she has to take her time to be able to work. So if he was able to, stop her before she could actually complete it, then.
All right, Aryn nods. Is satisfied with that answer.
Arturo will interject and say, if she's capable of changing people's memories, we've no way of knowing whether or not what he's saying is truthful.
That is true. She could have just altered his memory to think that he woke up and fought her off.
We already took care of her other mole. Now she's trying to give us another one.
Very likely. Yeah.
So here's what happened. Our dog went fucking nuts. So I didn't really hear anything after the exchange with Rat. Like anything after the last thing I said, it was very hard to pay attention because our own little rat, our little Shih Tzu dog, was going ape shit in the living room. So I am here. I am present. We will continue.
I don't think we said anything important.
Arturo did suggest out loud that that regardless of whether or not we believe Rat's story. It's a matter of, did she alter his memories to where he doesn't actually know what happened?
Aryn will ask Eon, can you sense anything without intruding?
Yeah, Eon would have, after hearing like all that, she would have almost like started doing sense presence just in case, like more instinctively to see if like Rabbit happens to be around. But yeah. Wait, shoot. So sense presence. Oh, I'm gonna be sensing specifically for that creature because I fought it. I know it, right? That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then I'm gonna sense specifically for that.
Okay.
I'm gonna step up since it has to be 15
The nearest
feet.
creature of a specific kind. That'll work. So you do, in fact, sense a biotic parasite within 1,000 feet of you, but it is not where Rat is. The direction indicated to you is the dance floor of the Euphoria. Someone out there has one. It senses the nearest of that type of creature.
Yeah.
So you sense a biotic parasite back out on the dance floor. About like 700 feet away.
Okay. Yeah, Eon's gonna turn towards it then. But like almost ignoring Rat, and she's just gonna be like, he's clean, but... And she's turning, like looking. There's another one here.
Another what, says Snake.
What exactly is it called again?
Sleeper agent.
A parasite. Another parasite. Somebody is infected here in your club. It's not Rat or anyone in this room.
Alright, what does it look like when they're a sleeper agent?
Doesn't look like anything.
Well, that's not tremendously helpful because there's about 10,000 people in my club right now.
I can just take you there.
How far away are they?
700 feet back at the dance floor.
So they're out in the main area. They're not even the VIP.
Yes, but they can be. If I'm correct, they can be activated. They may not be activated right now, but us possibly approaching them could activate them.
Then let's leave it alone for now, says Snake. If they're not even in the VIP area, there's not much they can do. It might just be... she might have people planted all over the place. For all we know, that thing you're doing... Banshee, can you do the thing that she's doing? Banshee raises an eyebrow. Snake's like, the whatever... The sense
I
the
don't
thing.
think so, unless you've interacted with the creature. Unless you know the creature itself, you wouldn't be able to sense its presence.
Yeah, Banshee just remains silent and looks kind of annoyed. And Snake says, okay, then explain to me how it works. Do you sense all of them or just like one?
It says that the nearest creature, right? So is it only one?
Yeah. It is only one.
Only one.
Only one at a time.
Alright, okay. Snake says, okay, so here's my point. For all we know, of the 10,000 people on this space station, there could be 3, 10, 15, 30 sleeper agents for Rabbit all over the place.
Wow.
If the nearest one is not in the VIP area, I think we're good to proceed. Okay. I don't really want to go on an Easter egg hunt right now.
I've got to agree with Snake. If they're not in here, they can't hear this conversation. They're not our problem.
I agree.
Right. At least we know everyone in this room is clean.
Thank you, Ian.
Are we sure they can't hear this conversation?
I could put up a privacy screen if we have any doubts. But I trust Snake's security, I think. I know he's not one that would like secrets being shared without his knowing.
Look, if you've got some mumbo-jumbo you want to throw up, I won't say no, but the room that we're in right now, not a single decibel makes it through these walls. I could shoot you in the face with a rocket launcher, and someone on the other side of that door would have no idea anything happened.
And I trust you on that. So I will hold on to my points then.
Oh, there's no Nataran or Nataran metal anywhere, is there? Since you said this place is very...
Probably not.
Okay, it's not here. I didn't know if Snake like upgraded since Snake got cool office.
I highly doubt it. Nataran metal specifically just cannot be affected by the mass effect. It cannot have its mass altered, or and biotic effects cannot go through it.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Cool.
it's rare and hard to move.
If this room were lined with Natara and metal, you wouldn't have sensed that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it so that we can correct it if that's the case.
Yeah. No, the walls are not lined with Natara and metal. It's very expensive.
All right. So then Aryn will feel free to read Rat in on the on what's coming this way.
Does anyone mention Natara and metal though? Like, does anyone actually bring it up, or is it only out of character?
Out of character, no. If I didn't have any issue, like something through it, I wouldn't even think about it.
I don't even think Arturo knows what that is.
Fair enough. All right, so how much are you telling Rat?
Well, I'm telling him about what the nightmare is, what it's like, what it really is, not the lies that Rabbit is telling everybody.
He probably won't, but if he'll accept the meld, you can show him, right?
No, he's not going to accept a meld.
Thought so. I didn't think so.
No, we would have solved the whole parasite thing a little while ago if he did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but no, I wouldn't expect any of the syndicate bosses to consent to a meld. So yeah, she'll tell him about the nightmare, what it's capable of, the level of threat that it poses to the galaxy, the fact that it's coming here, that Rabbit is kind of its agent here, similar to Saren with Sovereign, and that she's likely corrupted most of the syndicate bosses, or otherwise compromised them into taking her side on it. We don't know what its intentions are, but it has already killed many people that have just come near it. So we don't think it's anything less than a hostile invading force to our galaxy.
Rat listens quietly, kind of leaning on his cane. Eventually, when you're done, he says, "A bit big for me."
Well, we're
Do
not.
you suppose that it still bleeds?
Potentially, but organics are particularly susceptible to it. We think the best way to combat it might be with heavy applications of tech and AI. But it is, in essence, as difficult to defeat as a single Reaper, so a small pinprick won't do it. Probably even more powerful than a Reaper would be. But we're thinking on that level, that scale at least. So I'm afraid I'm not doubting your abilities as an assassin, but I think that would be magnitudes greater than what anyone here is capable of.
I see. Well, if you need a Reaper, I've got one.
I'll keep that in mind. We are trying to gather all the allies and resources that we can. Specifically, syndicate resources would be helpful, but and the reason that we're here is because it's coming this way first. So we want to try to acquire any allies that we can here before it does.
Yes, I'm aware Rabbit asked all of us to be there. It's gonna be here in 2 days.
Which means we don't have long if we're gonna launch any operations against any of Rabbit's allies. The specific ones we had our eyes on were Warhorse and Ox, because that's where she's getting a large amount of drugs from. We don't know particularly why, but we think it might be because they're going to be press ganging an army into service.
Well, Ox is our money. Warhorse is the synapse, yeah.
2 days is not long to plan and launch an operation, but I hoped that the advance notice Snake might have given you some ideas on what we can do. I'm giving you time to think about them.
Snake puts his elbows on the table and kind of rests his chin on his hands. Well, the issue is that we're so close to the meeting that, in all likelihood, Ox and Warhorse are already with her, getting ready. If you wanted to strike at them independently, your window is closed. Although, we could try to hit their industry, do damage to their home base, or disrupt their production while they're gone. That doesn't feel like it'll be... well, I mean, it won't do nothing, but I feel like this calls for larger scale action than a little bit of sabotage.
This thing doesn't believe in partners. It's going to try and turn everyone they can into slaves. If you can minimize the number of people actually there, that might be the smartest move.
Or we lower the numbers another way.
What do you mean?
If we can't have the forces, we shouldn't allow that thing to have them either. Could just blow them all up.
The meeting place is going to be well guarded.
Just providing options.
Mm-hmm.
Rat says just about every syndicate boss is going to be there. It might even be the 10 that aren't in this room. I don't think I could even get to the meeting spot. And that's saying something. This is about to be the most secure locale in the entire galaxy for one day.
There's no way you could get in telling them that you've changed your mind?
Oh, I could certainly infiltrate that way. My point is, if you were going to try to blow them up, I'm not exactly sure how you'd go about that. I'm not volunteering for a suicide bomb mission.
Well, we know that Warhorse's operation is key to Rabbit's plans. We just don't know why. So a slowdown of his industry could help. It couldn't hurt, for certain. We also get the sense that Warhorse is not complying willingly. So it's possible that if we can, at some point, get him individually, we could liberate him from her influence. But we would need to get him isolated in order to do that.
That's the problem, says Snake. It's too late to get at any of them individually.
And there's no way we can lure them out somehow?
Maybe.
Not before the assault.
We still have
but
if 2 weeks.
If we mess with their business, we might be able to get them alone after this thing has passed.
If it's possible to mess with their business and somehow pin it on Rabbit.
Hold on.
Make it seem like she did.
That is a thought. If they're putting all of their VIPs in one place, they'll be bringing a lot of their security with it, which means that other locations that would normally be under high security might be easier to hit. So the drug production, the money holdings. If we hit them early enough, we might be able to draw some of them back to their operations.
Also, depending on who reacts badly and who doesn't, it would help us find out who she has under her thumb and who's following her because they think she's doing the right thing.
We have to choose who and where we want to do that, though, because once we start, they'll probably go on high alert, and it'll be harder.
Well, Warhorse is a Krogan, and if I'm not wrong, he would be more easy to provoke.
But if he's under her thumb, would it matter?
Is there any way we could draw a rabbit out?
We know from Ralt that this thing doesn't necessarily rewrite the personality. It just adds a lethal compulsion.
So they can still operate independently if they choose. The holder of the strings, though, can just pull them when they need.
Now,
But wasn't it Warhorse that Snake said had a complete 180 in his personality?
Mm-hmm.
it could be something different.
The complete
So I don't-
180 in the personality leads me to think that he's under influence, not willingly. So if
Exactly.
if we were able to draw him out, make him come back to check on his operations, then
Now,
we might be able to catch him by himself.
here is another option, even though it might sound very hard to do. But if we were able to draw Rabbit out and convince the other syndicate leaders of her deception, it is a possibility. Just get her away from the group and try to convince them.
If we were able to, well, even if we did, like, say we hacked the meeting place and we were able to disseminate the videos from the mission that we took into the void itself, she still has them, like, not just tricked, but she probably has those parasites in as many of them as she could get her hands on.
And I'm sure the other ones would be eager to fight back once they learn it. Mass group meld.
So those are the ideas on the table right now. So we try to convince the rest of the syndicate bosses of the truth. They'll all be in one place. Easy to give the same information all at once, which would require some hacking probably. Then we're not sure which of them will actually turn against her or try to leave the meeting. Any that do, she'll probably deal with then and there. Or we could try to pick a target and lure them back with a direct attack on their operation.
However drastic my idea is, to me, I feel like once that entity gets a hold of this amount of people, it's gonna make our situation even more dire. As risky as it is, it seems like it'd help us out, or I don't know.
I'm open to other suggestions if anyone has them.
Snake looks like he's just mulling things over right now.
Well, there's
He
a lot
says
to
kinda-
mull over.
He says kind of quietly, despite our tight time frame, we shouldn't act in haste. Another 20 minutes of thought won't make a difference to 2 days. We need to make sure that we're taking the right move because we only get one shot. We're potentially making an enemy of a lot of very powerful people.
If they wind up on the side of this guy,
Exactly.
there are enemies either way.
Exactly. The more we can get over here, the more forces we have, the better chance we have to defeat it.
Think of it as a timer to gather as many allies as we can, because once the 2 days are up, anyone that's not an ally in that meeting is an enemy.
That's why I'm suggesting if we have an idea on who's with her willingly, we try to sabotage their work and pin it on her. It'll help create some dissent amongst their rank.
Make them think that she's lured all of them there to reduce their security on their operations.
Exactly. That's why I don't think Warhorse is a good idea, because if she's forced him under her will, then hitting him isn't going to do anything.
But
No, the idea is to get Warhorse alone so that we can break her control, to make him more willing to turn turn tail and join us.
Think of it this way.
If she refuses to let him leave to come find out what's going on.
The thing is, Warhorse's operation is apparently very important to her long-term plans. And she's trying to keep behind the curtain as much as possible. So the logical person to send to go deal with any disruptions to his operation would be Warhorse himself. She has to maintain appearances.
She does, yes, but we would want to hit somebody while they're in this. If we're doing it while they're in this meeting or preparing for this meeting, we would want to hit somebody who she's willing to not have, or rather,
She's already got him under her thumb. She doesn't need him at the meeting.
unless he's using him to help convince the others, but I don't know.
And I don't know what Amos is going to do once he's there. Because it seems like if he were to just spread death and wipe out all those syndicate leaders, that's a lot of potential power that he could be throwing away. So he might not be just going in and destroying. He might leave behind a similar parasite to rabbits, just more powerful, more permanent.
So the idea of possibly disrupting their operations, Snake, is there any place where multiple syndicate bosses have strongholds or operations of some sort that if we were to cause some sort of catastrophic catastrophe, we would be able to affect more of them?
The syndicate bosses keep their holdings pretty separate. The only exception I can really think of is that Dragon's fleet tends to hang around where Old Dog's forge is set up as protection. So if you went after Old Dog's holdings and fought your way through Dragon's fleet, you'd be hitting 2 with 1, but that's only really because of their sort of bodyguard relationship that Dragon has with Old Dog.
I think we could safely assume that Dragon's fleet is at this meeting, providing security.
Most likely.
Even if it was, I don't think that's something we have the capability of striking.
If you want to go after Warhorse's holdings, I can tell you where at least one of his factories are.
Even if it doesn't work, if it disrupts his operations even a little bit, that's just more resources that Rabbit can't draw upon for whatever her final plan is.
In my experience, drug facilities are rather flammable.
Yes, I would be interested in knowing where his facility is.
Fair enough. If that's the route you want to go.
Does anybody else have any alternatives? And because once we've decided on a course of action, we'll only have time to enact one plan.
I really think that betting everything we have to draw one person out is... I don't think it's the best idea, honestly.
So the Synapse is a very strong biotic agent. It greatly increases the user's connection to their biotics. Isn't it? Or haven't the Asari been having weird nightmares ever since this thing popped up outside of our solar system?
They have.
Or our galaxy? Well, maybe the reason why the Synapse needs to be protected and maintained, maybe it makes it easier for him to control individuals who aren't as connected to their biotics as Asari are.
That's a possibility too.
Maybe that's why Warhorse's thing is so important. And if that's the case, then I definitely think disrupting Warhorse's production will be a huge good for us.
That could be what the final plan is. Not just Asari, even. Just anyone that could be affected by it.
Anyone that takes the drugs.
If we wanted to cause a serious issue, we would have to find his main factory. We couldn't just hit a small one on the side.
Or his storage facility. They've apparently stockpiled a lot as it is.
Destroying their stockpile would be...
That'd do something.
Yeah.
Sorry to say, says Snake, but I have no idea where they're storing it. And a lot of their production facilities are still off my map. I may be an information broker, but the Syndicate is a clandestine organization. Every boss keeps their affairs separate from one another, and secrecy is a priority.
And you, the Master of Secrets, does not know where they keep it all?
Until now, I didn't really have a reason to be prying into that. There are thousands of clandestine operations going on every single hour in Terminus space, and every single one of them is done with the utmost care to maintain complete secrecy, not just from Council space, but also from their competitors inside the Syndicate. It is tremendously difficult to learn of even a single thing that goes on in another boss's territory. The fact that I know as much as I do fails to impress you only because of your ignorance.
I think I understand. I apologize. Did not mean to belittle your talent.
I have a Synapse factory you can hit, and the security is pretty light. I don't know how important it is to their operation. It might be one of 3. It might be one of 30. It's on a mostly molten moon, circling a star. The temperature is way above what anyone could survive without protective suits, though.
No, it's a good thing we've got the Levos.
Those suits are designed for deep sea.
Yeah, you'll actually need like heat-proof suits, or a spell that provides protection from hot environments.
I was gonna say we don't have time to go and get new suits.
You got anything that provides fire resist or protection from hot environments?
I'm trying to look. I don't think so. At least not biotic wise.
I know there are tech spells that can do it.
Yeah, I'm looking.
You might not have them in your list right now, but that's something that you could acquire the means for within the time that we have.
Yeah, engineers can literally, essentially buy more spells whenever they want.
Wizards.
Yeah, so you could go pick up. I don't know what this system's equivalent. I was assuming that it made sense for you to have it, which is just a environmental resistance spell for like a very hot or very cold place.
Thermal shielding is one. And it's not concentration, but it is only a 10-minute duration.
So quick in and out. You'll be safe inside the ship. Basically, you would stealth drive up to the fucking factory and pop that shit, and it's like, all right, you got 10 minutes before you roast.
Well, the problem is it's a range of self.
Uh-oh. That's a big problem.
Yeah.
Drop a bomb on it.
You could just shoot the factory with the ship, but that would draw attention to the Saratoga, and if they have anti-air or any kind of defenses in orbit, then you're in a space fight.
Unless we
That's
quickly down there and disable them.
And if you crash land, then you're in the hot environment that you don't have protection from.
Yeah, thermal shielding protects you from heat hazards.
That's what you're looking for, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we could always do an old-fashioned bombing run.
We could do a stealth mission, get in there real quickly, plant a bomb, and get out.
The problem there is we can only protect one person, and that is the person, and that would be the person with the tech, Ray. And no offense, Ray, I don't want you going anywhere alone. You will die.
Well, we do have another member of the group that doesn't need any excess abilities to be able to survive in hostile environments. And Ray will look at Kronk. Isn't that part of the reason why they raised your people up?
I could resist it longer than the rest of you, sure.
Well, I would only need at least one person to back me up, and you're one of our best up-close fighters. So, if they can all find a safe area to cause a distraction while we sneak in, then maybe that would be our best bet.
I don't actually have any mechanical advantages towards enduring an environment besides having a +6 to my con saves.
Snake, how did
Yeah, the con save will help.
How do the workers at the facility keep themselves protected from the heat?
They're mechanical, says Snake.
So there are no organics on the ground?
Not much. Probably a couple to, run the place, and they would have protective suits.
Wait
but
a
they'll be deep
minute.
inside the facility.
I actually just picked this up. Maybe that'll help.
Mm-hmm. Dominate person for it for synthetics.
Yeah, you could take over one of the worker drones. Which they're obviously. It goes without saying, but this is not going to be like Geth, right? Like they're just mechanical workers, as in they're just mindless robots. Like they have a program they follow. They're not.
Well, yeah, hacking is actually better if they're mindless robots, because
Yes.
then they don't get any future saves. So
I know,
but
I was just pointing that out for everybody in case somebody was like, "Well, robots, huh?" I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Like it's just like normal fucking robots, not sentient. Yeah.
Like
so if it's taking place on a lava planet, then it would have to have some sort of cooling system. Something to keep the factory from literally melting all the drugs. So if I could take control of one of the robots and get it into the cooling area and make it self-destruct, then we might be able to just blow the place up outright.
Just have it melt down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Use the environment to our advantage.
Though.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Snake is thinking for a moment and says, "It's feasible. If you fail and get discovered, you'll be in a pretty tight spot."
I feel the need to point out that according to the rules of AI hacking, you cannot force the creature to self-destruct.
That's true, but I could force it to F with the panel and make the panel self-destruct.
Pull levers that would break the facility, and then the planet destroys the facility for us. It's not putting it directly into a hazardous environment. It's not making it cause direct harm, like jumping into an incinerator or shooting itself in the foot. It's just pressing some buttons.
Also, for what it's worth, the main reason that the factory is mostly run by robots is because they don't really care that much about the heat. So shutting off the cooling would, most likely cause a lot of damage to the factory, but it wouldn't actually hurt I think the robot would not care. It wouldn't actually hurt the robot.
At least until the lava took over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be a long time down the road that it would affect the robot. So.
Yeah. It would fuck up production, but the robot would be fine.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt for us to give it a try.
I think
So I have to be able to give directions to them. It says within 60 feet. I have to be within 60 feet of them. So I would still have
first time.
Okay, so I could give directions from any different distance after that?
Yes,
Yeah,
but you'd have a hard time controlling them directly if you couldn't see through them. You could send Tasty down, though. To be your eyes down there.
I want to say, according to this, all you really have to do is give it the instructions to turn off the environmental controls panel.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't have to directly control its actions every turn, just sort of leave that order.
Assuming that that this robot is capable of even affecting these sort of things, it can do that.
It also would have to have the intelligence necessary to follow that order on its own. Like, it'd have to know where things are and how things operate.
I could also send Tasty with it, like you said, because Tasty would be able to give me direct feed, and I would definitely be able to instruct it more precisely.
Mm-hmm.
Pull that lever, press that button, turn that key, that sort of thing.
Does somebody have slow fall?
Yeah.
Then we can even get you to the ground without having to touch the ship down.
Well, I can turn her invisible before she goes down, too.
Not sure how much it would affect her, but I can fly.
That would help us get you both back. You can fly? What?
Yeah, I can fly. I'm a biotic too. Do you forget that?
I mean,
I never forget.
to be fair, I actually no, I take that back. I've flown once, thanks to our friend over there. Points to Ray. But I mean, the most I can do is just run across surfaces and low gravity areas and stuff like that. So flying, yeah.
Now, says Snake, say hypothetically you stealth your way into this this area. Your Quarian hacks a robot. The robot messes with the controls in the factory. Your ultimate goal is for Warhorse to come back and fix things, right?
Or at least see who's messing with his thing.
So Warhorse comes back. Now what do? You're in a ship. How are you planning to confront him without leaving the Saratoga?
If he did come back, what would he do? How would he approach that?
Most likely he would enter the factory's docking bay in his private ship, exit with a ton of security in the factory, and investigate the problem personally. He and his security would all be in heat-resistant gear.
I mean, how big?
Before he ever lands.
Pirate tactics could work. How big is his private ship?
Remember, Saratoga's not built for war.
Warhorse's ship is... It's not that big, but it's armed to the teeth. It's got thick shields and a lot of weapons. It's ready for a fight in space.
So we might have to already be on the ground. We'd have to be there waiting for him in probably a temperature-controlled area.
I mean, we could always... we do know some very clever people who might already have equipment that could just help everyone survive planet side.
In 2 days?
If you know who I'm talking about.
Kronk, in 2 days?
Mr.
Why does this have to be in 2 days?
Because that's when Almost gets here.
I thought we had a couple weeks.
No, you have 2 days.
Oh, geez.
We had a week 4 sessions ago, but
yeah, I'm very lost as to how many days we've been traveling together.
Mr. Rat, I have a question for you.
Like 2 days.
Yes.
Do you have a private ship or some sort of warship or something?
In a sense.
do you think that his storage thing might have something that we could say was a beacon, and he'll see your ships nearby? Maybe he approaches. You say that you came because there was, a security beacon went off or something. You came to investigate too. Maybe he comes to speak with you, and we're there. We can ambush him.
Well, that's an interesting idea. I don't usually bring people onto my ship.
Mm-mm.
If Rabbit's in his head and sees Rat making moves, he might tell him not to go near it. In Warhorse's head, not yours.
You might find it fascinating, though, Quarian. When I told you I had a Reaper, that's what I mean. I'm flying one around.
I'm just looking extremely off
The
put right now.
highest pitch
I knew it could happen.
comes out of a.
I'm liking
Right,
this
right.
idea now. I would love to take a ride in a Reaper.
Now, don't get me
No.
wrong. It is the corpse of a Reaper that I have retrofit with thrusters, but I find it to be very effective at intimidation.
I don't think Rabbit would tell him not to intervene. If anything, she'd want to know what he was doing around. And I don't think Rabbit would expect all of us to be there.
I don't know.
Personally,
I've
I'm
been meddling in her stuff recently.
going to be honest with you. A few of us might have a little bit of system shock if we saw that flying around in person again. Definitely someone in the crew would, for sure.
Arturo's just staring at a wall.
Oh, two people.
All right. So say we enact our plan, sabotage the facility, draw Warhorse back, and the first thing he sees in the area of his factory is a Reaper floating in orbit. Probably knows that it's rats.
Oh, he'll know it's me.
Does he open fire or does he try to board?
That idiot is not going to open fire on me. He'd know better than that. There's no one in this syndicate who would open fire on me.
So if you invite him to board, maybe say you witnessed what happened or whatever, you want to talk with him, and we're all there, we can subdue him, do the meld, get this parasite out of his head.
Or we fake a capture. Let Snake have us sitting there like he caught whoever was causing harm to the facility, and he wants to pass him over to Warhorse. That would bring us close to him, and wouldn't leave much room for him to, see the deception.
If you'd be willing to have us on your ship.
Of course, but as I said, I tend not to have guests. You see, the Reaper I'm flying around may be dead, but there are still echoes in its skull. In my experience, people who come on my ship tend to experience things. They don't seem very fond of it.
There's nothing that we can get that provides mind shielding of any sort, right?
Not in this time frame.
Okay. But is it an actual thing that can be procured?
Theoretically, you could get some of that metal we were talking about, and make a helmet.
But then I wouldn't be able to sense anything.
Correct.
Also, technically speaking, while that metal is in a state where it would provide the mind shield, it's also in a state that would prevent anything carrying it from entering FTL.
It's only if you've got it fully converted. If it's only at that half conversion, it just takes a lot of energy for something to move it, but it can still be moved.
I don't really see us as having much other of a choice if we want to be able to fight Warhorse on at least this stage where we have an okay shot.
So then, I'll follow the Saratoga in my ship. Or do you all want to hitch a ride with me from here?
Saratoga would have the best chance of getting close to the facility undetected.
That's true. My ship not only has no stealth capabilities, I would argue that it's actually quite the opposite. I find it to be very noticeable.
And there is some benefit in that.
Ironic,
sometimes,
considering what you do, isn't it?
Yes, well, I tend not to use my ship for my work very much.
There are times you want people to know you're coming.
Considering the size of a Reaper, couldn't we dock the Saratoga in it?
We'd still be subject to the
or
same
on it.
effects.
Quite easily, yes.
We'd be subject to the same effects, though.
Yes, but we wouldn't be needing to move two vessels separately. And no offense, Rat, if things go horribly wrong, we have an escape vessel.
Fine
Well,
with me.
Also, we should spend as little time in or around the Reaper as possible. If my research on indoctrination is anywhere near correct, just being near it will start to eat away at our minds. You must be incredibly strong-willed to be able to hold off against it, Mr. Rat.
Indeed.
I imagine indoctrination's not what it used to be, but probably not fully eliminated as a threat.
In any case, you're welcome to slip your Saratoga in whichever hole you'd like.
I don't
My
like that. I don't like that.
my Reaper corpse doesn't have a docking bay, but it is riddled with catastrophic damage, and you could just kind of pick one and dock there. Oh, it's also not airtight, so you'll need to have a spacesuit while you're with me.
Our suits only have air for
We've got
about
suits.
an hour.
Ah, tragic. I have plenty of air to spare, though. Perhaps docking your Saratoga in the Reaper would make a lot more sense then.
Perhaps.
The suit that I'm wearing has a life support system built in that can keep me going for weeks. I never bothered to patch all the holes. It would have been dreadfully expensive. So the interior of my ship is basically just a vacuum.
As long as you have air to replenish our tanks, then we should be alright.
I do indeed.
Gets there. Arturo, that's the Reaper that crushed you.
Yeah, its name was Bob.
And if the Saratoga's docked, it won't be detectable as a separate ship, given the size difference.
Indeed. So, the plan is we head over to Jakku, mess with his factory. He comes snooping, and I'm there. He docks, and that's where you get him. Am I following?
If all goes
Yeah.
according to plan.
It's not a bad plan. Also, if you're not able to free him of Rabbit's clutches, I've got a plan B.
Does it involve using the Reaper's main cannon to blow the ship up? Because I like that idea.
That doesn't work at all.
Oh,
You would be a lot scarier if that did work.
Just about nothing works, to be honest with you. It's pretty much for appearance's sake.
So what is this plan B?
Well, you're going to get Warhorse. You're going to try to free him of her clutches with your little trick. If you fail, I'll cut his head off.
I suppose that's reasonable.
If we can't subvert him, removing him is the next best option.
Also, getting a hold of him, we might be able to learn where the meeting is taking place.
Snake says, I know where the meeting's taking
No,
place.
I thought the whole issue was that we didn't know where it was.
The whole issue is that they're going to have most of their security dedicated to keeping it safe.
Both Snake and Rat were invited, so that, yeah, you know where it is. It's just like, it would be suicidal to try to get anywhere near it. Yeah.
Probably going to be the second most well-protected place in the galaxy for a day, second only to, like, the Citadel.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was confused from something earlier. That's fine, though. Redacted.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that is about the scope of the plan, unless anyone sees any potential pitfalls.
We just gotta hope he actually shows up.
Primrose looks at Snake and says, and Primrose has basically not said a word like the whole meeting, finally speaks up and says, so, if you're not going to the meeting, are you choosing a side? And Snake kind of leans back in his chair. I suppose that's an astute observation. Any syndicate boss who doesn't show up at that meeting will be making a declaration to Rabbit, in a sense.
And if you're Sorry.
This isn't a staying neutral situation anyway. If you go, whether you want to or not, you'll be forced to join anyway.
And if you don't show up, everybody knows where to find you. Are you safe here from the rest of them?
I am, says Snake. Euphoria is safe.
I still have my sense deception up. So Aryn's gonna press say, like, you didn't answer the question though. You're not going to the meeting, are you?
I'm thinking about it.
If you do, find some way to send me notice beforehand. That way I know to take precautions next time we meet.
You won't need to do that.
If you go, I won't have any way of knowing that you haven't been corrupted by them.
Then allow me to demonstrate. I am a purple hippopotamus. You don't detect any lies. He takes his knuckle and wraps it on the side of his head against like the metal cybernetics. Like his whole skull is made of metal.
Ha!
Understood. The only other thing I was gonna do would be like if he hadn't demonstrated something, I was gonna like reach out and try to wave my hand through him like a hologram.
That actually would have been really funny if your hand would have platted against his face, like, what the fuck?
Okay, so you're actually
Anyway, that's why I'm thinking of going. I haven't decided yet. There are pros and cons. There's a great risk for me. If they happen to realize that I'm immune to their bullshit, almost might squish me like an ant. But it could be really cute to sit in on this whole brainwashing cow-pow and walk out unaffected without them realizing it. It's a gamble that I don't know if I'm willing to take with my life.
I mean, I'm sure Banshee over there could crack a few skulls.
Banshee would be more susceptible than anyone.
That's true.
Basically, it's a question of do I roll the dice on them realizing I'm immune or not. If they do, I probably die. But if they don't, we gain an interesting asset, which is them thinking I'm controlled when I'm not.
Eon was able to detect one of the people affected by Rabbit from here with a fairly low experience required spell. I have a feeling that they would be able to tell if you weren't affected.
Ah, fair enough. In that case, on your advice, I'll sit this one out. And I suppose in doing so, declare war on the rest of the Syndicate. What about you, Rat? How you feel about that? And Rat says, those guys suck. I never liked them to begin with. And Snake is like, well, there we go. Traitors, one and all.
Well, you may have made some enemies, but you have friends on your side as well.
I don't need friends, I need results. You're smart enough to know that I'm the kind of man who's going to look out for number one. Right now, I'm seeing the best outcome being a new shadow broker named Snake. You're my friend as long as you're not in the way of that.
Well, a shadow broker named Snake is something I can certainly get on board with.
Then we have an accord. Time for the underworld to come back together. Too many talking heads, anyway.
Well, when next we meet, hopefully we can plan the targeting of another syndicate boss. We have several in our crosshairs, just not enough time to hit all the targets we want to.
No, I'm well aware of that. You've got your work cut out for you.
As do we all.
I'll be here. And I'll let you know if Euphoria is ever compromised.
In the meantime, would it be possible to get some badges that'll grant us access to the VIP area? It's a much more calm place to wait than the open dance floor. A firefight broke out while we were in there.
Yes, Joseph, we can hear you.
No, we cannot.
Okay.
Oh, wait, now we can, yes. Okay.
Okay, because I asked out loud if people could hear me, and nobody said anything.
No, we did not hear that. We can hear you now, though.
Okay.
I heard you say something, but people were talking at the exact same time, so I didn't know what you said.
Yeah.
Sorry, Spectre, I don't have badges for you, but I'll let the boys know to let you come and go as you please.
That'll do just fine.
We're a pretty recognizable bunch.
If I remember correctly, Snake liked movies, so I mean...
Keep an ear out, though. Keep an ear out. I'll let you know if Euphoria is compromised. I'm actually hoping that it is. That would take another head off our plate.
Oh.
Euphoria is designed for me to escape out the back. It can then be put into lockdown and sent into a decaying orbit around the sun until it collides with the sun.
Oh.
Yeah.
So if one of the bosses invades Euphoria, they will have set my trap. I'll leave, and they'll go bye-bye.
That would be a shame, because I do like this place. As hazardous as it is. If you know how to navigate it, it's comfortable.
No, it's a
difficult inferno.
It's a difficult place to find, and it's an even more difficult place to siege because of all the radiation.
Mm-hmm.
So they might not try for it, at least not right away, but eventually they will. Mm-hmm. It isn't as though no one knows where this is in the Syndicate.
Mm-hmm. And heat is everything in space combat here. So it's hard to wage war in such a hot environment.
Indeed.
Alright, well, I think we have our target, and we have our plan.
Alright.
Ray, what do you need to get a hold of that, that tech ability to keep yourself safe?
I don't know. What are the rules to acquire a third level spell? It's like a ton of credits, right?
If you can find a place to copy it from or buy it from, it's like 7,000 credits per rank.
Okay, so about 21,000 credits.
Yeah.
Okay, Ray will say, quite a few resources to test and optimize it with my Omni tool, and someone who knows how to do it, or at least a article that can teach me how to do it.
Snake says, since I'm not risking my neck with this operation, I'll foot the bill. He'll... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, that's much appreciated. I was about to ask what the information we've fed you so far from our ship has been worth.
He'll slide over a tablet with information on the tech spell that you were asking about.
Aryn will
Along
pick it up
with-
and hand it over her shoulder to Kronk.
Along with 100,000 credits.
All right, we're gonna immediately pull out 21.
Yep.
21,000 for Ray.
Sorry, I had a brief moment where I stopped being able to understand English. What about Kronk?
Aryn, so he slid over a tablet with information on a new tech spell for Ray across the table to Aryn. Aryn, just like keeping her eyes on Snake, like picked it up and handed it over her shoulder towards Kronk.
Oh yeah, he'll take it and secure it.
Rat gets up from the table and says, I'm going to go get the engine warmed up. Meet you in the back.
We'll see you there.
When you get in your ship, just swing around to the other side of the station. Trust me, you won't be able to miss it.
Well, now that we know what we're looking for.
We missed it the first time.
So we're looking for the blue Kia, right?
You missed it the first time because it's a giant space station in like a radioactive cloud of space gas.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to detect
Someone
much of
could have-
anything.
These things
Someone
are
could have
the
parked
station
anything
is
back there. You'd
huge.
have no idea it was there.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. I was just thinking about how large Reapers are, and the station is gigantic.
Well, so the biggest Reaper is still the size of a Dreadnought class ship, and Dreadnoughts can still dock in most space stations.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, this is a proper space station. Snake said it's got like 10,000 people on it. Like, it's not
Oh,
a
wow.
small thing.
Yeah. That's cool.
Which 10,000 people is small for a space station, but still a space station.
Like, so if you pay attention to some of the details about the Quarian flotilla, they do have ships bigger than Reapers because they have actually retrofitted decommissioned space stations.
Mm-hmm.
But like, they're not going to have the same kind of
They
punch.
usually use those for like growing crops and stuff.
All right then, says Snake. You can see yourselves out.
All right, we appreciate the intel, the assistance, and good luck to us all. And Aryn
You guys
will,
head back.
Yep, Aaron's gonna stand up and start making her way back out.
You return to the Saratoga. Before returning to her little perch in the back, Primrose will take Aryn aside and say, I'm with you for this operation, but I don't think there's much I can do, as I don't have environmental gear either.
That's no problem. My team can handle it from here.
I'll be more of an asset when we start to take on the bosses more directly, so to speak.
Understood.
All right.
When
That's all.
we're off our ship, we will need somebody keeping an eye on the place.
Right. I'll take care of it.
Thank you. All right, and Aaron's gonna head to the bridge, make sure that everything is in motion. So Ray's probably studying that tablet.
Yep.
We took the 21,000 credits out, so that leaves us with 79,000. We don't really have anything to spend it on right now, so we're just going to put that in the ship fund for now, possibly redistribute it later.
All right. I will add that to the ship fund.
Shit, Eon's getting ready to attack. Should roll initiative.
My entire like chat thing just completely disappeared, and I don't know what happened.
Now you have 94,000 credits in the ship inventory.
I have a parasite. I'm gonna swing on everyone.
Is your chat still missing?
No, it's got. I reset.
It was Eon
on
all
our
along.
way out, would Eon be able to get a more precise pinpoint of where the sleeper agent would be?
Unfortunately, no. By the time you're leaving, they've already moved somewhere else in the station. It is, after all, a huge space station. So,
Yeah.
actually, I would go so far as to say they leave the 1,000-foot range during the meeting.
Yeah.
Do we get any new pings?
I would pretty much just get a direction of travel, and that's about it. Then once they leave
You-
1,000, I'm gone.
On your way out, you might get like a new ping, but they're very far away. It would be not convenient to pursue it. You do get the idea that there are multiple people with parasites on that station, though.
Next time we come here, I need to remember to disguise myself. I do have that ability.
Yeah.
As you come around the side of the station, you see a huge dark shape emerging from the cloud behind the station.
Nope, don't like that.
I like it as long as it's on our side.
And
No,
Arturo
don't
starts
like it.
having a panic attack.
Don't like it.
They're kind of cute.
Hey, Zan.
Yeah.
As that thing comes into view, and I look over at Joker, what's Joker's reaction to this?
He goes pale and grips the armrest of the chair. And he kind of like looks over, sees that you guys aren't freaking out. And he calms down like a little bit, but he's like, why are we not panicking?
It's probably fair to say that Arturo is also very pale.
Because we don't know if we need to panic just yet. And if we need to panic, we've got that in the back pocket.
To the bridge crew, Aryn's gonna say, "Not to worry, this is expected. Anyone who feels they cannot handle the situation may excuse themselves from the bridge."
Kronk has explicitly made his way to the bridge to look out the window. He wants to see this himself.
Joker gets up and is like, I don't know what this is. I'm gonna go.
Aryn gives him a nod.
Yeah, he makes his way out of there. He's like, all right, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'll be in my quarters if you need me. Arturo says before walking out.
I mean, Aryn takes a
never
breath.
thought
Like,
of-
she is a little shook. It is giving her flashbacks as much as it's giving anybody. But she's composing herself.
I'll be honest. Let's see in person. I think it's
Damn, those
hellish.
are big.
It's like anyone over the age of 25 may excuse themselves.
Damn
One
it,
of those-
I'm right under that.
Yeah.
Arturo's got one of those moments of, Captain, how long do we have before we reach our destination?
We have 2 days before anything. Well, our mission here ends officially in 2 days.
I mean, before we reach the facility.
So the facility is on Jakku, which is a molten moon. You expect it to take you probably about 6 to 8 hours to get there.
It's not long enough for Arturo to get drunk. He just sulks back to his room.
I knew I recognized that name.
What? That's more than enough time to get drunk. Let's take some shots.
Look, I'm not gonna lie.
It's not enough time to sober up afterward.
I'm not gonna lie. I am so tempted to cast Levitate on Ray when we get planet side, just so that she can be walking on the sky.
As you approach the huge
about to be a
derelict
second
Reaper, you find that it is horribly damaged. There are holes all over its carapace, and you can kind of take your pick of where you want to dock.
David? pick a spot that you're most comfortable fitting in and wedge us in there.
Yeah, David, pick the hole you want to be in.
Pick a hole. What I said.
Don't say it like that.
Make sure it's big enough.
This is gross. This feels grody now.
I know, the
this
stereotype
wasn't
Asari
already
and our
specific.
sex jokes. What can we say? It's part of our culture.
You pull the Saratoga in and land and quote-unquote dock in one of the like torn open holes in the side of this thing. True to the rat's word, the interior of the Reaper is just vacuum. Yeah, one wrong step and you would probably just go tumbling out into space. There are like broken railings and stuff hanging from the ceiling. No effort has been made to fix it up at all. He just retrofit an engine to it and flew it around.
Does it have gravity still, though?
Nope.
Mag boots, baby.
Yeah, it's
Mag
you
boots.
got to use mag boots.
Oh,
yeah.
jeez, yeah.
Hey, at least he put in
Arturo's not
like
going
one
on that
rail
thing.
to
He's-
walk on. That's nice of him.
Arturo is
Yeah.
not going on that thing. He's staying in the ship unless he's forced to leave.
Well, we're gonna have to fight Warhorse here, if anywhere, but we will have to get him back to our ship before we can initiate a meld, because he'll be in a suit.
Once your ship is set down, the airlock of your ship, you actually hear a metallic knocking on the door.
Not this again.
Let's go and cycle the airlock.
We're gonna get attacked by husks, guys.
Oh god.
I've been on this exact railing many times.
Kronk will head down and position himself right outside the airlock, hand on hammer just in case.
Yeah, let's cycle the airlock and let whoever's out there in.
All right. When you open the airlock door, outside is a small white ball about the size of a basketball, but it's got little like robotic arms and legs and one red eye in the middle, and it's what knocked on the door, and it
Oh my
kind of
God.
tilts its head and goes whoop, whoop, whoop.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
it's
it's
cute.
adorable. I want it.
No, we're not getting one, though. You can't bring one home.
It flashes its red eye like into the Saratoga at you guys, and then its little arms and legs retract and it rolls away down the hall.
I
Ray, I
think
don't care
Toto
what
is
you-
telling us that Timmy's in the well.
Do you think we're being summoned?
Or directed.
Better to know where the bridge is, after all. And Kronk will actually just start following.
All right.
Arturo's still in his room, by the way.
The helmet of your suit closes, so you're enclosed because you're going to be basically in space. But yeah, who else is coming?
Eon.
Arturo is still in his room unless he's asked to follow.
I'm gonna be honest.
Ordered to follow.
I'm good.
Ray casts environmental adaptation and starts flying around the ship.
All right. Those who follow it find that it leads you up to what looks like a functioning airlock door. The design of it is not the make of a Reaper. It's clearly something that was added. And the airlock opens, allowing you to enter.
Make sure to keep in contact. Oh yeah, if Lucille's going, she'll say EXO, keep in contact.
Yeah, who's going, who's not?
I'm not going. David's staying
Yeah, I
on
think
the ship.
Aryn,
David
Arturo,
and
and David
Arturo.
are staying. Kronk,
Oh, okay.
Ray, Eon, and
Oh.
Shepard are going on the away team.
Oh,
Okay.
Aryn is staying. Okay, so Shepard's in charge.
Yep.
Unless Aryn wants to.
No, Shepard's in charge of the away team.
Okay. When the airlock, after the airlock cycles, you find yourselves inside of a room that's actually airtight, with artificial gravity and atmosphere. And there is a girl sitting on a piece of metal across the way from you. The little robot rolls up to her, whoop, 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 and she kind of pats its head and looks over. Hey, you guys can take your helmets off here. It's safe.
Checks heads up display just to be sure, and once that officially gives the green, just a quick check,
Yep.
and then
It
we'll
is
take
safe
off
in this
helmet.
room, yeah. I work with Rat. He told me we'd have guests. We don't usually have guests.
I promise, we'll be at least as good conversationalists as your robots.
Probably not. But it's nice to meet you.
My name's Lucille. And yours?
Oh, right, that's a thing. Let me think. I guess you can call me Mouse for right now. Anyway, I'm the one who got this corpse moving. It's not like Rat knows anything about an engine.
You got this Reaper up and going again?
Yeah.
The look of shock is staggering on her face.
Ray's gonna turn off her exterior voice modulator, and she's just gonna directly contact David and say, "David, you should have come. There's a really real cutie here. She's about your age."
I'm good, Ray. I'm good, Ray.
Suddenly, Mouse stops talking and stares at one of the walls vacantly for like a long time, and then goes, "Huh," and then returns to the conversation.
Everything okay?
Oh, yeah. Once you've been in here long enough, it starts to talk to you. That's all.
Does it at least have any good jokes?
No, not really.
So it's still alive to some degree?
No. No, it's dead. But even dead Reapers, they keep whispering. It's like an echo. Doesn't quite go away.
Is its core still active?
No. No, it isn't.
So you were able to design an engine to prevent it from being drawn into gravity wells as well?
Well, I more or less retrofit it to existing tech.
Can I see this? That's amazing.
Well, she kind of fidgets. I don't know. No one ever asked to see my work. People don't like what I do. That's why I'm with Rat. He lets me do my work. The people in council space really didn't like it.
What about your work did they not like?
I'm getting uncomfortable. Sorry, I'm gonna leave. Mouse gets up and starts to make her way towards another door.
I apologize. That was not my intent. I think it's amazing that you were able to get this thing moving again.
Shame. She was working with AI. We could have gotten some real use out of her.
She kind of hesitates. What's your interest in AI?
A lot of things.
How do you feel about the Reapers?
I mean, they're dead, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they're dead.
The Reapers were simply AI that functioned as they were programmed to. Whether or not we perceive that as evil is besides the point.
Exactly. Mouse cracks a smile. It's just perspective, right?
Exactly.
They
Similar
were-
to the Geth.
Yeah. Yeah. No. That's exactly what I was saying. Yeah, the core is not active, but it's intact. Someday, maybe. You know? She's like smiling, like she's getting her hopes up that she's talking to a mutual.
Yeah, it would require exceptionally advanced tech, but my people found out how to turn the mass relays back on, and it's a similar process, more than likely. It's just a Mass Effect generator, so...
Exactly. It's not impossible. They tried to kill me for this, you know? The council? They sent people after me. Not arrest, no trial. They tried to just remove me. You Alliance types probably don't know that. The stuff that goes on behind the curtain. Sometimes they just want someone gone and, you know, they just make them gone. They don't like the public to know about that side of them, but I was an inconvenience.
I have experience with watching representatives of the council make people they don't want around anymore disappear. Yes.
Look, all I'm saying is, the Reapers, if I could wake one up and talk to it, if it didn't have its old purpose anymore, imagine what good they could do if they were on our side.
Kronk clears his throat, offering no comment, remembering that he has worked exactly that job before on more than one occasion.
So, you guys are a little bit more accepting of this sort of thing than I would have expected. I don't suppose any of you have worked with Cerberus before, have you?
He flinches a little bit.
You start to notice that her outfit is all white and black, and for the first time, you see the Cerberus logo on one of her shoulders. Like, all smudged and dirty, like old, because Cerberus is no more. But it's clearly a Cerberus, like, lab outfit.
I'm sure you're well aware that Cerberus and the Quarians didn't exactly make good friends with one another.
Oh,
Cerberus
yeah.
and any alien, really.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's not really how I feel about things, but yeah, it's true. The boss was very humans first.
I've got no more ill will than anyone else I've ever shot at.
But Cerberus also did help Shepard prevent the Collectors from destroying all of humanity, so I guess they can't be all bad.
He was a visionary, you know? Really misunderstood in his time. He was humans first, but that was more of just a numbers game. I mean, we just didn't have the resources to protect everybody, so he had to stand up for his own people first. It just kind of made sense, you know? But the things he imagined with the Reapers, like, it's, you know, there's still hope. I'm doing what I can out here, trying to realize his dream.
That is a very interesting perspective and take on things. Definitely is.
You know, when we lost the elusive man, we really lost a lot more than I think people realize. He could have changed a lot of things for the better. Anyway, this girl, she motions at the Reaper corpse around you. I named her Lilith. I thought it was kind of cute. Lilith is supposed to be like the first demon, I think, or something like that. I'm not really too well read on Earth stuff.
Sure, that tracks with mythology.
But I don't know. I just think they're so misunderstood. You know, they're just machines. So why couldn't they be on our side?
Would you be willing to show my friend here your work, just so you know?
Oh well.
Two folks, they're.
I mean, I guess so, but like, you guys got all real defensive when I brought up the Cerberus stuff, and I get I'm in some alien company here. I don't, you know, feel that way. Like, I know that there's some history with all that.
As long as you don't have the same ideals, I don't mind.
No,
No, it has nothing to do with
And
Cerberus.
I'm fine with it.
It's more of an interest in your work and what you've done, because getting something like this moving, that takes a lot of legwork, but a lot of brain work. And she kind of looks over at Ray a little pointedly.
Creating an
I'm sure
engine
that
that effectively provides a Mass Effect field is exceptional. Like, that is beyond your standard engine manufacturing. That is brilliant.
Well, it's not like I started from scratch. I used pre-existing machines.
No, but the Citadel... Actually, what did the Citadel do with all the Reaper corpses?
So in Council space, the Reaper corpses were any of them that were found. For a while, there was probably like a reward offered. Basically, like, if you find a Reaper corpse, let the Council know, and because we want them. And the Council collected all of them. And the rest is classified.
sounds about right.
But the Reaper corpses in Terminus space were not collected quite so painstakingly. So there are still some of them floating around here and there, and some of them are ripped apart by scavengers, and their parts are used in various ships and machines. Others are kept intact as a trophy, or in this case, as a ship.
Pretty sure some of the Reaper tech was used in the mass relay repairs.
Indeed,
At
it
least some of
certainly
it.
was. Oh yeah, it certainly was.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely doesn't
Yeah.
account for all of it, though.
Mm-hmm.
The access to Reaper tech to actually develop something new, even if it was from old Reaper tech, that's not something anyone's really had access to. You might be one of the foremost authorities on that.
Oh, well, I mean, back when Cerberus was still around, I guess the Elusive Man did put me in charge of the Reaper Research Division. By the way, while she's talking, you guys might, those of you who have some wisdom might start to notice the how young she looks, despite talking about being like in charge of an entire division in Cerberus. Like, that doesn't line up. She looks way too young. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely not everything about her setting off warning bells for Lucille. Nope, definitely not.
Well, she looks at Ray. Oh, your name was
Rela. You can call me Ray.
Okay, Ray. If you want to see the core or the engine I hobbled together, I can show it to you.
I would be more than happy to.
All right.
Ray's gonna like look in her eyes and like watch how her eyes focus and everything. Is she human?
Give me an insight check.
I have a feeling she might be an AI. I do not have inspiration.
Insight, but I have perception. I've been watching this chick kind of close. I don't know if there's anything I could glean off of her from that.
It would be insight if you
I
want
am
to
still
roll
trained
it.
in insight, though. So
I can make that check if you want as well.
Yeah, and you've got people trained in insight. At least someone else is trained in insight, right? In this group.
That's a good
I'm
point.
not
What do I
there.
get?
Yeah, I am. Give me a second.
Okay, so because Kronk is, you get the bonus. Ray,
It's like 1d4.
it's 1d4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Boom.
Very nice.
All right. So, looking at her, you do get the impression that she is human, but she's less human than she used to be. The look of the skin on her face looks a little bit synthetic to you, and the way her eyes turn and focus. You don't get the impression you're speaking to an AI so much as a human whose parts have been mostly replaced over the years. Like, she's highly cybernetic. It's probably still a squishy brain, though, is the feeling you get. And her hair looks real. That is genuinely her hair. The rest
So
of what
just
you
as a
see
reference
might
point.
be fake.
In cyberpunk terms, she's gone full Borg.
She's pretty much full Borg, yeah.
As a reference point, it's basically what the elusive man was before he died.
Yes, she's like
It's
the
completely
elusive
I
man.
like it. I like it.
Yeah, she's just like the elusive man. She's got like a human brain and hair, and the rest is robot.
All right, I've got to go.
All right,
All right, bye-bye, dude.
Ray will go with her, but we'll kind of. I mean, she can't really show expression, but we'll kind of look back at the rest of the party, hoping somebody at least accompanies her.
Yeah, I'll go with you. Ian will go with you.
Lucille is right next to you, if not a step ahead of you, between you and Mouse.
Yep, that was the code
Yeah.
name she gave because she's with Rat. You get the feeling she made it up on the spot. Like it felt very much like that.
Well, I don't want Lucille to stand between her and Ray because I want Ray's trying to be friendly with her, so she tells her stuff.
It's more of like when you walk in a little triangle.
Oh, that's fair.
Lucille is in a spot where if she needs to put herself between you and her, she can. Because she's wearing armor and has a gun, and you're the squishy healer that is cute and we want to keep alive.
As
That's where Lucille is.
She leads you down a black staircase, and it leads into a huge, like, giant blackened room. As soon as you enter, the walls spring to life. Tons of metallic tendrils snaking out from the walls. And Mouse actually steps up onto a couple of them, and they carry her down to the engine core, while the rest of you have to take the stairs. And as you take the stairs, you are surrounded by hundreds of these, like, metal arms all around you, kind of hovering around. If any of you ever, like, make a move for a weapon or anything, the walls respond.
Ray's actually flying right now, so she'll just follow her directly.
Cool.
Does, however, open up her Omni tool, snaps a picture, and sends it to Aryn and David. And I don't know how sneaky I would need to be about that.
The walls don't care, and Mouse is already, like, basically at the bottom, so you're able to just do it.
Cool.
Yeah.
The walls don't care.
As you reach the bottom, Ray, you see that, sure enough, the level of work here is extraordinary. It's clear she wasn't lying that the elusive man put her in charge of the Reaper division, which would have been probably one of, if not the most important research divisions that they had, because he was going all in on the Reapers. That was like his big fucking plan. So if she was the scientist he put in charge of that, she might have been the smartest person in Cerberus. And her work speaks for itself. It is almost unbelievable what she's doing here. And it gives you a little bit of unease that there is a sliver of a chance she might actually revive this Reaper eventually. If she is left alone long enough and given enough resources, seeing what she's capable of, it is not a 0% chance. You don't think it's likely, but it could happen. She could possibly bring this thing back to life, given, like, infinite time.
This is amazing. I'm the resources you must have been given to learn how to do this with the Reaper must have been immense.
Well, yeah. I mean, to start with, this was I guess it was never a Cerberus project, but what was left over of our organization, it was all hands on deck to achieve the elusive man's dream. That was until, well, that was until the executive beneath the elusive man used his money and pull to take over. It was him or me, and he had a very different vision in mind for the future. He wanted the organization to go all in on military tech and developing our own AI. He was more concerned about his own personal safety and wealth than making real progress. So when he won over everyone, I left.
That makes sense. So I'm assuming you're not a big fan of Old Dog then.
You know about him.
Hmm?
Old Dog isn't a scientist. And he isn't a dreamer like the elusive man either. He's just a man with money. And his money was useful to Cerberus. Until Cerberus fell apart. Then he used it as a tool. A cudgel to beat the organization into what he wanted it to be. And any dreamers that were left over like me were cast out. And she puts a hand on the Cerberus symbol on her shoulder. As far as I'm concerned, Cerberus lives on with me, and nowhere else. Whatever Old Dog is doing, it's not what the elusive man wanted. I'm the last loyalist left.
Let's go take a look at that Mass Effect core, if you don't mind.
Sure. But, well, even though I've gotten used to it, it's still... There's a certain feeling when you go in that room. So brace yourself.
I've got a bad feeling about this. She mutters
Ray?
very, very quietly under her breath.
As we turn to walk out, Ray is going to forward everything she recorded from her helmet on over to Aryn, as well as to I always forget his name.
Decimus?
Decimus, yeah. I always want to say Decimus. Decimus. And basically just sending a message to him being like, you won't believe this.
Decimus pretty much immediately gets back to you, sending text and not voice, trying to be subtle about it, but his text is pretty panicked. It's basically something along the lines of, holy shit, do you think she should do it? Should we kill her? We should kill her, right? This is really bad. Decimus begins to panic a little bit on the ship.
Someone needs to get that poor Turian a Xanax.
Ray's gonna send back a message. We have to learn whatever we can. I don't think killing her would be great. She's a friend of Rat. Maybe just push her in the right direction would be safer.
He responds with, I was there when they attacked Palaven. And then Decimus is going to go talk to Aryn about this. But in the meantime, actually, that's where we leave off for tonight. But Decimus is immediately going to go to Aryn and be like, we can't let this happen. He is very... He's got his own war trauma. He was there when they put his planet in the toaster.
He was a little kid too, so
yeah,
he's got
he was a child.
Mandalorian trauma.
His childhood trauma of the Reapers. So yeah, he's gonna go to